See a bard in the corner. Hi everyone. Today I'm going to be creating another character. I am going to create a Kalashtar monk. I think those two sort of combine really well. And yeah, so we'll see how we go. So we're going to need to grab the Eberron again, the Eberron module. So I will just quickly go through the Kalashtar and see what aspects we're going to grab for them. So I think female. For this one. Not really sure why I keep going for female, but we'll see how we go. Kalashtar 29. Kalashtar are a compound of people, created from the union of humanity and renegade spirits from the plane of dreams. Spirits called Kori. Kalastars are often seen as wise, spiritual people with great compassion for others, bound to spirits. Every Kalashtar has a connection to the spirit of light, a bond shared by other members of their bloodline. Kalashtar appear human, but their spiritual connections affect them in a variety of ways. Kalashtar can't directly communicate with the Kori. Rather, they might experience this relationship as a sense of instinct or inspiration. So let's go ahead and get a quirk. Where's my D10s? Where's my D10s at? That will do. 4. You apply dream logic to mundane situations. So I don't really know what dream logic is. Maybe that's a little airy. Maybe it's about aspect of the mundane situations and stuff. So maybe you sort of perceive it as lucid dreaming or something. Maybe something like that. Have a look into it. So quirk. The Kalashtar equals dream logic for mundane tasks. Under my nightmares, the virtuous spirits tried to Kalashtar fled from the dream realm of Dalcor to escape evil spirits from dominating it. The rebel Kori believe that through meditation and devotion they are able to change the fundamental nature of Dalcori. Many Kalashtar defend themselves from the dreaming dark by focusing on devotion on the path of light. Cool. Kori names: Rashana, Ashtai, Tash. I like Tash. Kori name Tash. Kalashtar name I'm going to call Tarsha. So a bit of both kind of aspects there and stuff. So they have similar age, 9 traits for the people, 30 speed, and dual mind. They have advantage on wisdom saving throws. Mental discipline, you have the resistance of psychic damage. Mindling, you can speak telepathically to any creature you can see, provided the creature is within a number of feet of you equal to 10 times your level. You don't need to share language with the creature, they understand telepathic utterances. When you're using this trait, you can speak telepathically to a creature. You can use your action to give the creature the ability to speak telepathically with you for 1 hour, till you end with effect as an action. To use the ability, the creature must be able to see and must within the trait's range, and you can give the ability to one or creature at the same time. Giving it to the creatures takes away from another creature who has it. 7 dreams. Kalashtar sleep, but they don't connect to the plane of dreams as their creatures do. Instead, their minds draw from the memories of otherworldly spirits while they sleep. As such, you're immune to spells and other magical effects that require you to dream like dream, but not spells or the method of effects that allow you to sleep like sleep. You can speak and read and write in Common, Kuri, and other languages of your choice. Cool. So they're just kind of like a human variant, a little bit. So I like the look of her, so we might be sort of staying pretty close to that aspect. So we'll jump to the monk side of this. Oh, there's so many dangles. So many dangles. So, I haven't done a monk yet, so and this jewel is getting in the way. Let's just put that over there for now. Monk is a 76. That's not really working, so I'm just going to put that there. Magic of Ki. Monks are careful to study of magical energy and that most monastic traditions call Ki. This energy is an element of magic that suffices in the multiverse, specifically the element that flows through living bodies. So I mean, Kalashtar has this aspect of like dream energy and these other things, and then it's like this internal living energy of the light. I think there's a really good combination to sort of have these two together. Creating a monk. As you're a monk character, think about your connection to the monastery where you learned from the skill and spent your formative years. Were you an orphan or a child left for the monastery threshold? Did your parent promise the monastery a gratitude or service performed by the monks? So, no armor, equipment, short sword, or a single weapon, dungeoner's pack, or is it 10 tarts? Unarmed defense, beginning at first level, you're wearing armor, is not wielded as a shield. Your AC equals 10 plus your dexterity modifier, plus your wisdom modifier. Martial arts. At first level, your practice of martial arts gives you mastery of combat styles that use unarmed strikes and monk weapons. You can use your dexterity instead of strength for attacks. You can roll a d4 and place your normal damage. When you use the attack action, your unarmed strike, your monk weapon, in turn you can make an unarmed strike as a bonus action. For example, if you take one action and attack with a quarterstaff, you can also make an unarmed strike as a bonus action, assuming that you haven't already taken a bonus action in the turn. At level 2, you can harness the mystic energy of Ki. Your access to the energy and reserve a number of key points. Key save. You start knowing 3 of such features: flurry of blows, patient defense, and the step of the wind. You learn more key features that you gain from when you spend a key point. It is unavailable until you have finished a long rest. Flurry of blows. Immediately after your attack action, your turn, you can use a spell key. Spend a 1 key point to make 2 unarmed strikes as a bonus action. Unarmed movement, starting level 2, your speed increases. Patient defense, you can spend 1 key point to take a dodge action as a bonus action of your turn. Step of the wind, you can spend 1 key point to take at the disadvantage or disengage action, or dash action as a bonus action in your turn, and your jump distance is doubled for the turn. Deflect missiles. Starting at the 3rd level, you can use your reaction deflect catch missiles. When you do so, the damage you take from the attack reduced by 1d10 plus your dexterity modifier plus your monk level. If you reduce the damage to 0, you can catch the missile. If it isn't small enough, you can hold it in one hand and you at least one hand free. And if you catch the missile on your way, you can spend 1 key point to make a ranged attack weapon with a piece of ammunition that you have caught. Snowfall. For reducing falling damage not equal to 5 times your level. Extra attack, being at 5th level. Key power strike, stillness in the mind. These are all sort of like other things and stuff. So monastic traditions. 3 traditions of monastic pursuit, commons are scattered across the multiverse. Way of the open hand, monks in the way of the open hand are the ultimate masters of martial arts combat, whether armed or unarmed. They learn techniques to push and trip their opponents, manipulate ki and heal damage to their bodies. Way of the Shadow. Monks in the Way of the Shadow follow the tradition that rarely stealth and subterfuge. Those monks might be called ninjas or shadow dancers. Way of the 4 Elements. Teaches you the hardest of the elements. When you focus your chi, you can align yourself with forces to create and bend 4 elements to your will. Casting elemental spells. I think I'm just going to do the open. Way of the open hand. Cool. So open hand technique. Starting with 3rd level, you can manipulate enemies' ki and harness as your own. Whenever you hit a creature with one of the attacks granted by your flurry of blows, you can impose the following effects. It must succeed on dexterity saving throw or be knocked prone. If it must make a strength or saving throw. If it fails, you can push 15 feet away from you. It can't take reactions until the end of your next turn. Wholeness of body. At 6th level, you gain the ability to heal yourself as an action to regain the hit points equal to 3 times the monk level. You must finish a long rest before you are using this feature again. Cool. So you can heal yourself and stuff, that's good. So we're going to be looking at the monk and the Kalashtar aspect. So they're bookish, they're sort of studying and stuff, so very university-like. So I'm sort of trying into like a visual of how this would look as a Kalashtar kind of person. Let's go to backstory. I think I already know what they're going to be for this. It's probably going to be sort of an acolyte, I think. Yes, acolyte, you have spent your life in the service of the temple and stuff, so we're going to keep with that. Shelter of the faithful, feature shelter of the faithful. Acolyte, command respect to those who share your faith. Suggested, cool. D8. Let's look at some personality traits. I see omens in every event and action. The gods try to speak to us. We just need to listen. So, seeing everything as a sign. plus dream logic. So those actually work really well together. So like, there's always this interpretation behind dreams and stuff, and that's sort of applying that aspects to the everyday as things happen. So it must be something like that. Cool, so that works. 4, for ideals, power. I hope to one day rise to the top of my faith's religious hierarchy. Top of the monastery. Bond. I seek to preserve the sacred texts that my enemies consider heretical and seek to destroy. Cool, so protect these sort of aspects. So this also plays into the fact that there's these bad dreams of the Korra and stuff that are sort of hunting by the nightmares. So, dream versus nightmares and stuff, so very orientated around those sort of spirituality of dreams and everything. And flaw. My piety sometimes leads me to blindly trust those that profess faith in my God. Will trust anyone of faith with my God. Great. Cool. Perfect. Cool, so it all sort of plays into very well into the sort of like religious, academic aspect that they want to protect. So let's go into trinkets and just put up a few trinkets and then see how we go. These will require a D100. Six. An old chess piece made from glass. Made of glass. 95. Petrified. That's a little odd, but what can you do? Okay, cool. So let's go through this just quickly. So Kalashtar named Tarsha, also known as Tash to the Curie. They are a monk of the open hand, way of the open hand. They apply dream logic to a lot of mundane scenarios and works and everything, but also see any sign or any weird occurrence or coincidence as a sign from gods. So they apply that sort of dream logic to that aspects and stuff. Tarsha wants to be the top of her monastery, a monastery of dream. Mainly because she's a Kalashtar. She feels as though that she needs to be the top because she is sort of one with the dreams and aspects. So she's intrinsically and inheritedly supposed to be leading that kind of charge against nightmares. She carries a old text passed down from generations that the nightmares and the nightmare realm is after, then trying to snuff out, so she's very protective of that text. Unfortunately, she does trust anyone that sort of speaks or has any knowledge of the Curie, and will often do that, but she often uses her telepathic connection with people to try and suss out whether or not they're being truthful or not. She carries an old chess piece made of glass, that she won from the first match that she won against her previous, that she won the first time she won a chess mess against her professor, her preferred professor. She also, strangely enough, carries a petrified mouse, a mummified mouse, but with no real explanation as to why. She just likes her little mouse friend. How does she look? Well, she's very bookish, very university sort of orientated. So I kind of think like my pen isn't working. I think she's going to sort of have high, dirty blonde ponytail. Very athletic, sort of Pilates build. Sort of sashes and stuff. And sort of goes across to that. Sort of tights and sort of like little slip-on shoes. Sort of monkish, sort of those tights with the flares at the bottom now, because apparently people wear those. Lots of beads around the hands. And she has those really sort of like hipster sort of big frame glasses and stuff. They're clear with like gold rim and stuff for reading and stuff. So kind of like innocent looking, maybe a little plain, very bookish, but very violent and strong and powerful. Clearly does Pilates a lot and classes and stuff. So a bit of just sort of like that bookish type, like monkish university type. Trying to be an academic, but also willing to use the martial arts training when required. So I think you enjoyed that. Bit of a quick one, direct and stuff. Let me know what your thoughts are. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy your long rest.